Hi, today I'm attempting something that might be totally stupid. I'm gonna hike, look, I got my headgear in gear. I'm gonna hike down the Grand Canyon Trail. This is something I've never done before. I went here once when I was a long time ago, but just look at this, dude. Look how big it is. It's so cool. It's supposed to be about a 6-hour hike. It's 12:30 in the afternoon right now, which means if I time this perfectly, I'll be back right as the sun's going down. But I've never done it before, and this is a notoriously brutal hike, so I'm a little scared. So it is February in the Grand Canyon right now, and as you can see, there is huge drops on the side of this trail, which is maybe the most scary part of it right now, because there's snow and ice on this trail that is only going to get worse as I get down to the bottom. You can look way off in the distance and kind of see the bottom of the trail coming out, but this thing crisscrosses across the side of these huge cliffs. It's supposed to take 6 hours, so I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of filming until I get down to the bottom. I just gotta move. Wish me luck. Hiking to the Colorado River and back in one day is not recommended due to the long distance, extreme heat, and nearly 5,000 foot elevation change. If you're, they should add stupid enough, to think you have the fitness and expertise level to attempt this extremely strenuous hike, please seek advice from the park ranger at the Backcountry Information Center. I'm one of the stupid guys that thinks I can do it. You can see the trail. It ends right there and then it goes down probably another 1,000 feet. I just made it to the inner layer, the second layer of the Grand Canyon. I started way up here. Approximately 4 miles later, I've made it to right here, and you can see the end of the trail where you drop down into the inner sanctum of the Grand Canyon. Quick thought that just came to mind is, even though I made it down 4 miles, and it's a really big accomplishment coming from up there, it's also a terrifying reminder that I'm gonna have to hike back up that very soon. It's getting dark out. I'm pretty sure I got like 3/4 of a mile left, and I'm trying to make it to the top of the canyon in time to film the video, but it's getting dark. What I didn't realize about the Grand Canyon is that there's multiple trails that take you different places. Up here on the high side takes you to the overlook, but the trail in the bottom takes you to the river. So I'm having to hike down and find my way back to the main trail. I can finally hear the river though. I think I'm gonna call this the inner sanctum of Grand Canyon. The wind is starting to blow, so I'm yelling just a little bit, but it's starting to get beautiful. You can see the actual greenery down in the bottom. It's not gray and dry anymore. The Colorado River, I can almost taste it. I thought I made it to the bottom, but this isn't the bottom. There's a whole other layer I still gotta go down into. Oh my gosh, by the time I get back to the top of this thing, this will have absolutely been the most brutal day hike, single day hike I have ever done. My legs are just groaning right now, and look how far down these falls are. Oh my god, this is getting crazy, dude. Hiker's high, it's here. The wind is getting crazy, man.
As I continued my descent down into the bowels of the Grand Canyon, I was reminded of just how much life changes with different times and different environments to grow in. The plants, the animals, the bird calls, the snow on the trail, the thinness of the air and the weather all changed as I continued my descent. It was incredible to see how much lives inside of the Grand Canyon.
Without hardly blinking, here we are down here at the bottom of the last canyon. I don't know. This was the one I thought was the Colorado River. Right over next to me is the stream that I thought was the river that I heard earlier. This is actually just a stream that feeds into the bigger river, and I have no idea how much further I've got. I've just made it to the Colorado River, and if you look closely, you can see I'm not the only one here. There are bighorn sheep, female bighorn sheep right here in front of me. That's the river's edge, dude. Oh my god. Made it. Let's go. Worth it 100 times over. 100 times over. So I still got a little bit of time before I can head back up. I don't know how long it's been, but I do want to get out of here before dark. So I'm gonna start heading that way pretty soon. I'm gonna gonna take a quick break, eat a granola bar, and then we're gonna start making a move. It's gonna be a long hike back.
Aside from just the external environment I found myself observing, I was able to look inwards and realize how much time had changed me. It wasn't that long ago that I stood at the top of this same Bright Angel Trail with my family on a vacation, and my dad tried to rally us all for this same hike down to the bottom of the canyon, but back then my resolve was not strong enough. The trail's too steep, it's too hot, I can't do it. These were all words that came out of my mouth back then. Now, years later, these are the experiences I seek out for fun. Time changes dramatically the way we experience our lives. So instead of using the words I can't, or it's too hard, or it's impossible, perhaps we should just be open to the light of a new day changing our perspective.
So there we go. That was the bottom of Grand Canyon National Park. Now I just got 7.7 miles back up to the top, and it's gonna be a heck of a trek. It's kind of intimidating to think that there are literally tens of thousands of steps between me and the top of this canyon, way up there right now. But as with any journey in any form of life ever, the most important step is the first one, and that's the step we're gonna take right now. Here we go. I also saw one really buff dude that was hiking back up the mountain shirtless and in short shorts. So I'm taking inspiration after him because he was like peak physique that I want to achieve. So let's be like the guys that have done it. Here we go. I just made it out of the inner sanctum of Grand Canyon, and I'm starting to feel the effects of what I think are going to be the most difficult things to overcome on this hike out. Right now I'm headed to the top line. This line way out there, that is my destination. That is almost 5,000 feet, almost exactly 5,000 feet above the Colorado River where you just saw me. So in this hike from bottom to top, top to bottom to top, I think that's the elevation change talking. You are doing like 5,000 feet one way of elevation change and depriving yourself of a lot of oxygen. Most people never go up and down 5,000 feet in one day. So to do this 5,000 feet of elevation change twice in one day can be really hard on your body. And I can feel the effects in my head right now. When you're going down, you're having more air pumped into you because the air gets thicker as you go down in elevation. But as you go up, for the harder part of this hike, you're having less and less air to fuel your tired muscles. So with less air, there's just not as much blood getting to the brain. And I can feel the effects right now. I feel a little loopy. When I just finished that big hike up there, I saw a few stars. And this is only the first part. I still have all of this to hike. So this is gonna be the hardest part. It's not gonna be how tired I am. It's not gonna be the length of this hike. It's gonna be this huge elevation change coming up in front of me. And the only way to see how I'm gonna do is to do it. Okay, this is more or less the halfway point before we start the uphill climb to the top of the rim. This is really only about 3.1 miles into the journey. I have 4.5 miles left to the top of this thing, just as it's about to get dark too. So I just got a little bit of water. I also found a super cool hat, my favorite color as well, a cayenne. So I'm gonna consider it a battle reward for when we get to the top of this. Final stretch though, goal is no stopping. We're gonna make it up to the top of this. We're not gonna stop to rest. We're not gonna do any of that. We're gonna make it. That's the plan. Here we go. It's getting dark out. I'm pretty sure I got like 3/4 of a mile left, and I'm trying to make it to the top of the canyon in time to film the video. But it's getting dark, and the GoPro doesn't do great in the night. So I'm trying to hustle. Haven't stopped yet. So close. So close. Come on. That, I just made it. Out there is the Grand Canyon, and this is the gift shop at the top of the mountain. Woo! I just made it. I just made it. Here's another lie, you can't see me at all in the dark. But I just made 10,000 feet of elevation gain and loss. Probably about 6 hours, 15.4 miles. And I did it! Oh, that feels good. So here we are, next morning. Body feels absolutely broken. But I hope you enjoyed watching the video, going through that with me. One of the biggest things about adventure for me is not just seeing pretty places, it's not just taking good pictures, it's being the guy or the girl that pushes yourself beyond what is comfortable, into the unknown, into the pain and the discomfort, because the feeling I have in my body today of being hurt only comes after that accomplishment where you know you pushed it as far as you could, and it was a wonderful feeling. So I'm really proud of that. It was a great hike. If you want more content like this and you want to see a lot of the stuff that doesn't make it to these YouTube videos, then subscribe to my email list, the adventure list, at the link in this YouTube video description. Just click the little drop down arrow if you're on mobile, or you should be able to see it if you're on the computer. It has a little link right there, the adventure list. Subscribe, and then you get daily email updates from me wherever I am in the world. Right now, Tucson, Arizona, headed down to San Diego to drive the 101 pretty soon. So if you want more content on that daily from me, and not just however infrequently I post these YouTube videos, then click that link in the description of this video and subscribe to the adventure list. I'll see you in there. Stay wild, be free. See ya.